So in a couple of our previous videos, we've talked about setting up a Samba server for sharing data off of a Linux host. We've also talked about using NFS. Now, both Samba and NFS are designed to be long-term file sharing systems. And what we mean by that is it will be up for an extended period of time. People will connect to it. They'll stay connected for an extended period of time. It's a long-term file sharing solution. Now, if we don't need a long-term file sharing solution, if we just want something that is going to be super quick and super easy to set up, we'll connect, we'll copy a few files over one way or the other, and then we want to disconnect, SSHFS becomes a great tool for that. So it saves us from having to set up a full export for NFS or a full Samba server with configuration and Samba shares. So let me show you how this works. I'm going to start by installing the software. So it's sudo apt install SSHFS. So secure shell file sharing. Okay. Now my SSHFS software is installed, so I'm going to create a folder that I want to be able to connect to. So it's sudo make directory, and I'm going to do /SSHFS share. All right, that creates my folder. That's where I'm going to store my files that I want to connect to. In fact, let me do this. I'm just going to touch a file, /SSHFS share, and we're going to do test, and that's going to that's going to create my file there, ls/l/SSHFS share, and we'll see that we don't have a file there. Let me do this. Let me do cd/SSHFS share and sudo touch test. There we go. Now we have a test file. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder that I want to mount this share to. So typically this would be done on the device you're connecting to. Create the share, and really that's all you have to do is create it. SSHFS is super easy. So on the remote device, so when we're connecting from, I'm going to create a mount folder. So it's sudo mkdir/mnt/sshfs. And this is where I'm going to mount my share. And this would happen on the client. Remember, I'm doing this on a single machine and looping back so you can follow along if you only have one Linux-based virtual machine that you can work with. Okay, so now I have what I'm going to share. I have what I'm going to map it to, or what I'm going to mount it to, and here's how we do this. So it's SSHFS, and then just like anything with SSH, username at destination. So I'm going to loop back, so it's David at localhost. But then I'm going to do : / and what I want to connect to. Now notice I haven't set this up as a share. I'm just saying, I created the folder, but I didn't do an edit an export file or edit a config file. I'm just putting in the folder that I want to connect to, SSHFS share. And then I'm going to define where I'm going to mount it to. So mnt/SSHFS. Now this is something that I would do on the client computer. And I'm going to have to sudo it because I have no permissions. All right. The authenticity of the host cannot be established. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. I'm going to log in. And now I am connected. So let me go to /mnt/SSHFS. And I'm going to have to sudo it again because I have that set up as a root. So it didn't like that. Let me sudo su cd/mnt cd space SSHFS And there is my file mounted. Okay, there we go. We have mounted and then connected to that SSHFS. We've connected to that folder using SSHFS. That's a little more accurate way to say it. So when I'm done with it, so I transfer files, I move things back and forth, I do whatever I need to do, and then I just umount or unmount. Umount is the command to unmount. /MNT/SSHFS, and that disconnects my session. And that's the way this SSHFS file sharing is designed to work. Connect, copy files, disconnect. It's not intended for you to stay there connected all the time. Okay, there we go. That is your brief introduction to SSHFS.